Welcome to the channel, Pain the Batute here, and this is just going to be a very quick video on armor and the changes and some points to remember. Um, you should be aware that Tarkov BSG has made some pretty significant changes to armor in patch 14. So now it's kind of a confusing mess for a lot of people on what armor you should be using and how to handle it. So I thought I would do a little video on it. I'm not an expert. There's a channel called Giga Beef, and he's done a great amount of testing and things like that. Airwing Marine has also done a lot of testing, but I thought I would just give you some really quick points. So what they've done is I would say the easiest way to explain it is they've added numerous hitboxes to the armor. Before it was just kind of one hitbox, and no matter where you were shot on the armor, it treated it all with the same information. Now you get individual plates, and you can dink around with the armor as well, adding, subtracting plates. And what it's done is make some of the lower end body armor more viable. An example is, so this is a press armor that is, people would scoff that they would ever use it under 13.5, but in 14, it is much more viable a piece of armor. You see here on the armor, there are divisions in this is built-in armor and it can't be replaced. When you need to fix this armor, you have to right-click the unit and repair it. But what it's talking about this bit here is, so here is neck. So that's talking about this bit up here. And that is now a hitbox. You can shoot somebody in the neck. There's also the side, lovingly called now the armpit meta, in that a lot of armor has no protection on the arms. So if you got a chance to shoot somebody on a side profile and shot them in the arm, they have no armor protection. But here in this piece of armor, you see that it has some chest protection, because this plate has an actual shape that goes in here. So then this chest is the surrounding area. So the material of the vest actually has some protection capabilities to it. And that makes it more valuable than actually this piece of body armor. Actually, this rig, plate carrier, which used to be much more of a high-end thing. Now, it also has these small left side pieces, right side piece. There's a little bit of protection on the back, and then the armor plate fills up most of it. But you can see here there's a much bigger, while wearing this piece of armor, there's a much bigger armpit region that you can shoot somebody. You also notice there's no neck protection other than that. So if we look here, armored areas, it says left side, right side, front plate, back plate. Whereas if we look here, there's stomach, thorax, lower back, upper back, right side, left side, neck, throat, front plate, back plate. So even though people would have poo-pooed this press armor before, you can see that it gives you far more protection than this higher end piece of armor, or under the 13.5 patch, this much higher piece of armor. So when you start talking about armor, to me, a lot of the armored rigs, plate carriers, are almost useless now. Or not useless, but they are less effective. So it's good for newer players that are lower geared, because if they get a shot on these unprotected areas, you can take down somebody now you probably couldn't previously do it to, but you can take them down by hitting these unarmored spots. So when you're choosing your armor, keep that in mind, that you have to evaluate the areas that are protection. So like this one has no stomach protection, and no thorax protection, and no neck protection, and no throat protection. This one here, sorry. So there's far more of your body exposed, and in this new 14 patch, this is actually a better choice than that. The only thing then you have to keep in mind is what you can do is you can enhance your armor. So point number one, if you buy a piece of armor off the flea, you have to be careful that it's got armor plates in it. So you'll see these armor on the flea with no plates on them. So they do have a bare minimum of protection, but it's pretty low. And you'll see now that I pulled the plates out, the numbers dropped to 104. But if I put in a back plate, it's up to 144. If I put in a front plate, now it's up to 173. So now when you're repairing a piece of armor, you have to do repair of these sections here. So just doing the standard old style repair. So here are 635 rubles to repair some of this stuff. And there it's up to 138. But also you have to repair the plates. So you have to right click and repair or replace each one of these plates. So if you have a really damaged plate, you can pull it off and swap in a new plate. Here, for example, is the front plate. This front plate is actual class 3 with only 39 hit points. This here, which I bought off Praypor, is actually class 4 with 50 hit points. Now I can swap it in very easily, and now I bumped up the total to 194 points. So on these armors, you can greatly increase a sort of a base piece of armor by swapping out its plates by going inspection. So you can take this piece of armor that originally came with class 3 plates, which are okay but not great, and by buying a new plate, I've got it up to armor class 4. And you can even buy class 5 or find class 5 plates. I'm not sure what these are. What are these? These are class 4. But you can find, maybe you shoot somebody in the front and you damage his front plate, but his back plate's good. You can actually take his back plate, and maybe I could even put a class 5 plate in here, which would make this piece of body armor very, very effective. So the other thing you notice here, I don't have any plates on the left and right. So if I go over here to Praypor, because he's got a lot of pieces of armor, and Ragman will be the other one who sells it. So there's a front plate, there's a front plate, back plate. So one's worth 12 and one's worth 33. So what do you think? Well, there's a class 5 plate. So if I were to buy this, let's say, for example, there's a class 5. This is a class 4, which is what I already have. What's this? Class 3, so less, and class 3. So I bought this class 5 backplate. So let's go here to this piece of body armor. Let's pull out this class 4 backplate and replace it with a. Now sometimes the shape it doesn't let it work. So in this case, this will not fit on this body armor. But this is what I could do. I could take this class 5 piece of armor and go to what's this? This is only class 4, but will it take the shape? Yes. So now I've updated the back of this 6B23 by putting a class 5 plate in. So there I've upped the value or the ability of my piece of armor to take damage because I put a higher level of plating in. And I could look again for something else. Oops, you have to inspect these. So again, here's the back plate. It's only class 4. This back plate is class 4, so no advantage there. Do I have another piece of body armor I could experiment on? This one here. This back plate is level 5 as well. And what's the front plate? Level 4, so I've upgraded that piece of armor already. Yeah, I don't think I have anything here that I can upgrade at the moment, so I'm just going to slap that on there. But that's what you can do with pieces of armor. So one, you have to repair the cloth portions. So I was looking at this one here. Oops, back. So inspected here, and again, armored area. So this one does stomach, thorax, neck, groin, so it extends down a little bit lower. So again, there's another hitbox. Stomach and groin, this plate carrier does not cover. So if I had to make a choice in a raid where I found a piece of this and I found a piece of this, I would drop this plate carrier, even though in the old patch it would probably be a level 4 piece of armor, and this is only a level 3 piece of armor. But that's what you do now with your armor. So you have to repair the cloth section of it, and then you have to repair the individual plates. So this is a section that gets repaired when you do the right-click repair, and then the individual plates themselves have a repair functionality. So back to what I was saying before, if you buy a piece of armor off the flea market, make sure it's got plates. And then you're looking for the basic cloth part. I'm going to call it cloth, but it's like the basic armor to cover the most. So this has got neck protection, groin protection, thorax and stomach. You know, it covers far more than this thing does. So this is a better piece of body armor than this, even though in the old game it might be, it was considered a better piece of armor, and it could be at this point in the game more effective because it's got better plates in it. Well, you can always take the plates out of it. And so that's kind of what I've done in a couple of cases where I picked this up and I've had like pieces of press armor or whatever. I've actually taken the plates out of this chest rig, this plate carrier, pulled the plates and just sold this cloth portion, or this the general portion of it. And then the other thing is, you saw there that there's a couple of places where there's no plating, so I don't see any plates from this guy. So that goes back to Prapor. And at this moment, he only has front and back plates, but you can potentially buy side plates. And so, okay, this is a, what is this? This is level 3. Front plate, back plate. So he has level 3 plates. This guy has no plates. Yeah, he does. So what is this? This is a level 4 front plate, back plate. Level 4 front plate, back plate. And this is a level 4 front plate, back plate. So if you come out of a raid with a piece of gear, you can replace its plates. You can sell the plates, but you can upgrade your armor by basically upgrading the plates in it. Now the Unitar, everything's built in, so all you can do is repair the rig itself. But if I were to buy this, you notice it's got some front and back plates, but no side plates. Yeah, I would like to try to get side plates for these. Anybody else have side plates? No, Ragman I would have thought would have some plates, but at this point he doesn't. Jaeger, what about you? No. But what my whole point of this video for you is that now plate carriers or tactical rigs are not as effective as they used to be, mainly because they have the addition of hitboxes and they don't cover as much as your body. So now it's almost more important to cover bits of your body than it is to have what used to be. So if you're used to the older last version of the game, you would pick this up, and it's going to be less effective because there's no arm, there's no neck, there's no stomach, there's no cock spot that needs to be covered, whereas this is more effective. So your thinking on what armor you're purchasing has to change a bit. And then it all comes down to plating. So in the armor, there are front and back, and this one you can't do anything more than front and back, whereas this one has two little side plates in this section here, so I could equip those side plates. So right now, this armor is great from the front and back, but if somebody shoots me sort of on this anything along here, I'm in trouble because I have a little bit of protection in these plates, but I could add a much stronger plating in here into the side. So it's good, but it's not particularly great. And then I think even the helmets have protection on them now, zones. So this is built-in armor. There may be some of the more advanced helmets where you can actually replace these pieces. So rather than having, now it used to be if you come out of a raid, you'd repair a piece of armor a couple of times and you had to sell it because this number dropped down to being nothing. Well, now you can go and just buy plates and swap out the plates, and you still have some viability in the armor. So in this case, what I would do is, because these are level 4 plates, are pretty good, I'm going to keep it for now because I got stuff stored in it. But if I get another piece of armor like this, or like this that only has level 3 plates in it, I will pull these plates out, sell this portion of it, and put those plates in a piece of armor like this or like this to get more protection and better use out of them. So that's all there is I was going to say on armor. I don't have any recommendations. Again, I would say go to Gigabeef. He has a great video. Let me just pop over here to go here, and let me just do no, I just want to go to YouTube. And go to YouTube, and then Gigabeef. Oops. So he did a nice video on the videos. Armor, where he talks out a lot more. Sorry, this one here. So he's done like a ratings chart on this, and notice that he is showing here in his thumbnail all these other pieces of armor on the right that are called worse. Those are all rigs, pretty much. And you notice the sort of gray one just there by the 1700. That's a slick. That used to be one of the most in-demand pieces of armor in the game. Now it's not, because again, it doesn't cover the side or the neck or the groin or the cock area, whatever. But notice these armors with arms coverage and more neck coverage and things like that, they are much more in demand going forward. So let me just pull up his video for a second. Damn it.
Hello everyone, it's Gigabeef here, and today I'll be showing you the best to worst armors in Tarkov.
I'm gonna say Gigabeef, he's a great guy. I follow him, and he's showing us this. But anyways, let me go into the very end of his chart and notice what he has here. So this is best down to worst, and just letting him finish. Okay, and then I'm going to stop his video. But notice in the worst, there's the Hex. That was a fantastic piece of armor. So is this, and this, and this, and this, and this. This is the boss guys. This is used to be able to buy these. They were very effective. So all of these, you note that they're all armored rigs or plate carriers, and they're all now in the bottom tier, mainly because they cover so little of your body. Even the Twitch rival P.A.K.A. and the old P.A.K.A. is a level above these rigs. Like, how can that be? They're garbage. Or they always, remember, we always used to consider them garbage. So as you're moving up his tiering, you're noticing that these armored piece or rigs, even if there's some rig still in it, have more and more body coverage. And this may resurrect the old style, or is it the fort? The fort, nobody used to run the fort. Well, people are going to start running it again because it's got, groin coverage, stomach coverage, neck coverage, arm coverage. Very little chance to get a bullet in the side. But these are his picks for the better armor all the way to the top. So keep that in mind when you're buying armor or finding it. Again, it's a gentleman called Gigabeef. He tends to go into too much detail that I find a little bit frustrating, but all of the detail is good. It's just a lot to sit through. I tend to want to keep everything short and sweet. So what you are to learn from this is that chest rigs, plate carriers are no longer the bee's knees in this game. They're actually fairly ineffective. So if you get them, it would be better to look at the plates and see if you can pull the plates and put them in another piece of armor. So if these guys have the old style class 5 plates, putting a class 5 plate into something like this will make it far more effective piece of armor. And that's what you should be going for. Okay. I think Air Wing Marine also had a video on that. But that's all I was trying to point out now, because there's so much confusion now. People don't necessarily understand. I don't necessarily understand it that well. I just know now when I'm getting armor, I'm thinking about its coverage area, and then I'm trying to put the highest level of plate in it that I possibly can. And when I'm repairing it, you have to repair these pieces here that are part of can't be replaced. And then you can either swap out the plates, or you can repair the plates themselves. So that's my video on armor and my 2 cents. Thanks.